Hi, my name is Cleena Nealinon and I'm Trench Supervisor on Trench number 3 here on the Hill of Ord, or Tlachtga. As you can see behind us, we've got the remains of quite a big ditch. It's a rock cut ditch, so on either side you can see the bedrock coming up. We have Claire in pink there in the centre. She's taking it down. We're doing it very carefully now because we're finding lots of animal bone, and we also found a large piece of antler, so that's quite significant. We like to think that this is the best trench because we're finding all the good bone and antlers, but all of the trenches are equally good. But we've had some bad weather the last couple of days, so thankfully we've sunny weather today, drying out the site for us nicely.
I'm Niamh Kelly and I'm supervising here on Trench 2 up on the Hill of Ord. We put our trench over a geological anomaly that we picked up with resistivity and geophysical survey. So it looked like we had three concentric banks that run under, or rather 3 concentric ditches that run under our main monument of the Hill of Ord. And so we focused our trench over the innermost one of these, the one that was showing up kind of most positively. So we took out a trench 10 by 3 and we came down very quickly on bedrock here behind me. This is a little bit unexpected, we didn't realise the bedrock was so high, but quite nicely as it turned out we found a ditch cut right into the bedrock itself. So at the minute we're just taking it down. The ditch has gone down from ground level now about 1.30 metre. So just in the interest of health and safety, we're extending our bank out a little bit today so we can dig down a bit farther. We haven't found the bottom of it yet, but as we're going through it, it seems to be really dense stones and some animal bone are coming up. So we have animal bone in the fill, which means we can get a nice date out of the material. It looks like the material in the ditch itself is the stone that's come out of the ditch. So when they were digging out the bedrock they took out has just gone back in as a ditch fill. So we're assuming that this was made into a bank on the inside of this ditch to create a fortification, if you like, and that when they decided to close up the ditch they just pushed this material back into it. So it's slow work at the minute. It's quite hard to dig through it. A lot of the work is being done with mattocks and shovels, but hopefully we'll get to the bottom, we'll get some better dating material and we'll have something new in a few days.
My name is Siobhan Ruddy. I'm supervisor here on Trench 1 on the Hill of Ord. Trench 1 is the most northerly trench on the site, and it covers the outer bank of the monument on the hill. So what we have is an interior ditch. It's cut into the bedrock and then a bank, and on the other side of the bank is another ditch that appears to be cut into the natural subsoil. We haven't had a lot of finds out of the interior ditch. We've had a pig's tooth and a couple of flint flakes. In the outer bank, or in the outer ditch, we have a couple of charcoal spreads, one that we're currently excavating, some bits of flint and some animal teeth, but nothing too exciting yet. But we're still on the upper field of the outer ditch.
I'm Steve Davis. I'm, I suppose, project manager for the excavations up on the Hill of Ord here. It's my project, I suppose. I've done a lot of the geophysical work and the LiDAR work that led us to be excavating here in the first instance. So we're now 8 days into the excavation here. We've got 3 main trenches that are open, which we're imaginatively calling Trench 1, 2 and 3. Trench 1 is the northern trench, which is actually looking at the outermost bank of the monument and an internal and external ditch of that monument, which is the present monument that's on the site now. Trenches 2 and 3 are looking at geophysical anomalies. So in Trench 2 we're looking at a big triple ditched monument which underlies the current monument. It's considerably larger than the monument that's on site at the moment. And at Trench 3 we're looking at a smaller enclosure at the front, which is about 45 metres in diameter, which we're not entirely sure whether it underlies or overlies the present monument. I personally think it underlies it, but we shall see when we get some dating evidence. So probably the first thing we noticed when we started excavating here is how near to the surface the bedrock was. So everything here that's cut has had to be cut directly into that bedrock. It's called Calp limestone. That's the bedrock here, and it's limestone and shale. So we have a number of ditches which are cut directly down into this. In Trench 1, we're still really looking into some of those. There seems to be a fairly shallow, flat-bottomed ditch on the inside. The exterior ditch we still haven't really managed to define yet, so that's what's going on at the moment. At Trench 2, we have a really massive 3 metre maybe across, 2.5, 3 metre across, perhaps 2 metres deep. We've not reached the bottom yet. Rock cut ditch. It's really very impressive. And in Trench 3, it's a smaller ditch, but it's again quite impressive, 1.5 metres maybe, 2 metres, probably 1.5 metres across, and we're not again at the bottom of it yet. From all of those ditches that we've got so far, except for the one at the present monument, if you like, in Trenches 2 and 3, we're getting quite significant quantities of animal bone come out now. At Trench 3, that's been mostly, well, it's been very mixed actually at Trench 3 rather, so we're getting pig bone, we had some deer out yesterday, probably red deer, and we have a number of things which are probably cattle. Trench 2, the one to the east of the monument, that seems to be predominantly pig. So we have good datable evidence, which is really my main objective for this season's excavation, is to actually get stuff that we can date the different phases of monument. So hopefully when we go back from here, when we finish our excavation, what we can do now is date at least the top fills of each of those phases. So because the present monument that's there now is built over the top of the large triple-ditched monument, because we can date the top of that triple-ditched monument, we can say, we can give an earliest possible date for that present monument to be built. And likewise for the other monument to the south, the other enclosure to the south, we can actually try and figure out where that fits in the sequence between the present enclosure and the other enclosure at Trench 2. So it's all going very well, I think. Artifactually, nothing really so far. So no bone, well, no obvious worked bone, no glass, no metal, but we still have some hope that there might be something at the bottom of the ditches. So it's going very well.
That's really good.